following is a production of Watlington Shires and Pierce Productions. Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Center has the new and used vehicles that you're looking for. If your vehicle needs service, stop by WrightChryslerDodgeJeep.com and get your service appointment, and also shop online. Then come on down and let the guys make a great deal for you. And our knowledgeable staff will not let you leave without knowing everything about your new or used vehicle. Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram supports all the students of the Piney Woods.
Welcome, everybody, to the Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep pregame show, and more importantly to Madisonville here in the beautiful facility they have for a 5 o'clock varsity game. It was planned for center at 7. Weather made the grass and the grounds unplayable, so we are here instead at 5 o'clock. No JV game, so that's why the early start. Madisonville Center, district rivals. It's an unusual arrangement. We see them often in the playoffs, but not usually in district. Talk to our coach, Coach Ellis, about meeting these fellas in the playoffs. I mean, in the regular season. This is what he had to say. Well, Coach, we're here in Madisonville. A little bit of a surprise with weather, but tell us about the Mustangs.
I mean, they're a scrappy team. They play hard. They got guys that can pitch it, command a strike zone, 3 pitches. I mean, they're just like every other team. Palestine, very similar. Bullard, very similar.
This is a pretty decent district that you find yourself in. And there you go. Scrappy team, much like you saw in Palestine. And that's going to do it for our abbreviated Wright Chrysler Dodge Jeep pregame show. We'll hear from B3 Car Wash, and we'll be right back with the first pitch.
B3, that's the name. What does that name mean to you? B3 Oregon, dude. It's the sound of the 60s. B3 is the only thing that is before B4. It's a vitamin, good for the teeth and bones. None of the above. It's B3 Car Wash right there on Tunhaw Highway. You can do it yourself or you can drive through. It's B3 Car Wash.
Everybody, welcome back, and welcome to Jason Locke, who has returned from the hinterlands of way up north in Idaho. Welcome back, Locke, back to the warmer confines.
It is nice to be in sunshine and out of the snow and sleet. Just in time for the first pitch, and Easton Wolf's going to hit this hard to the shortstop. Shortstop comes up throw and skips it in, and Wolf is on with a single to lead things off. That's the way
get it go!
That's what you want to see in your leadoff batter, a guy that can make contact and burn up the base path. Wolf might have beat the throw, but it skipped in, and the first baseman not able to field it cleanly. So he is at first base, no outs here to lead the game off, and Logan Horton is going to step in.
I think you're right, Locke. I think he would have beaten it out. Is Horton on the bump tonight for the Rough Riders?
He is, and pitching for the Mustangs is Dean West, a right-hander for Madisonville. Horton takes that for a ball inside. And he hits this a mile, folks, but it is foul and way down the line in left field. Horton got a lot of that pitch.
I think that hit their gym.
All right, so that'll even the count 1-1 here. Got Wolf standing at first base, no outs. Beautiful ballpark here in Madisonville. All turf. This one hit a mile into left field. Left fielders are on the track. Lost it. That's a home run, folks! Way to start things off for Horton. A dinger, a 2-run shot for the Rough Riders.
How about that third pitch, DQ dinger. How's that for paying the bills?
Well, we'll hear from DQ and we'll be back.
Father, for lunch today, I would like a salad.
Father, for lunch, I'd like one of those American cheeseburgers.
I'm a vegetarian.
Cheeseburger. That's what I need. Protein.
Oh, when everyone in your family thinks they're royalty, take them someplace where they could all get something good. Dairy Queen.
All right, so it's 2-0 Rough Riders here early on.
Yeah, we kind of saw that. He turned on Horton turned on a breaking ball and ripped it foul down the left field line, and he caught the next pitch and drove it right dead away left field for a home run to get this first inning going. T.J. Bellin steps in. And Bellin swings at the first pitch. He fouls that back. Rough Riders being aggressive here tonight.
On base, babe. Let's keep it going.
And a breaking ball high and misses. 1-1's the count to Bellin. No outs. 2-0 already for the Rough Riders.
Did I tell you somebody told me I smelled that yesterday?
And takes a fastball outside, and that misses as well. So 2-1 count to Bellin. Bellin's going to pop this one foul as well. He caught that fastball a little high out of the strike zone. Really aggressive there.
Right where you parked the car. Wait, I had to make a call to Chris Mayfield or Andy Cox or Joe Bill. Y'all don't, does JBA do y'all do property?
We do not do the property casualty. We leave that to the experts like Joe Bill Matalier and some of those folks. This is hit hard down the third baseline. Takes a big hop. Bellin burning up the baseline. Bellin came out of there flying. The big hop to the third baseman took enough ball speed off of that Bellin was able to beat the throw at first base.
Boy, it helps when you have your quarterback running the bases, doesn't it?
All right, that's going to bring Cody Atkinson. No outs, folks. We've got our cleanup hitter in and a lot of speed standing on first base. Let's see if Bellin stays there long. And that pitch high for ball one.
Shires on the home run. What Dairy Queen thing were you thinking about after this pitch? I want to know.
And that one ripped toward the third baseman. He's going to go to second. They get one for sure. And the call is safe at first base. So they were able to double off Bellin at second base, but Atkinson going down hard, able to beat the throw at first. So the Riders with one away, they keep a runner at first.
As big as Atkinson is, it's just stunning how fast he is.
That ball was hit sharp to the third baseman. They had a chance to turn it against anybody else. And this is hit foul down the first baseline. This is Gage Vadrine at the plate.
Okay. Amber says the top camera's not working.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Well, that didn't take long. Okay, so I'm going to go out and tend to that.
Waiting on that ball to be thrown back in. It kind of trickled down the line there, foul. So here we go. Got a live ball in. And the dream drive this in the right field. Atkinson will hold at second. First and second. Good job of advancing the runner by the dream. Made solid contact. And the Riders have a runner in scoring position.
Early game streak of offense here. Gotta like that.
Jake Lane's going to step in. Jake's got a chance here with one out and two men on. Add to the early 2-0 lead for the Riders. And that pitch right down the alley for strike one. A lot of sunshine here today. It's going to work the third baseman and the left fielder a little bit. And a breaking ball high and away. Count now even 1-all.
Boy, you're right about that, Mr. Locke. The sun, third baseman, those guys looking straight west.
Even the umpire's having to shield his eyes a little bit. And that breaking ball catches the corner. So it's 1-2. No wind here. You see the flag is not moving at all. It's kind of still and warm. And breaking ball outside high, 2-all. Working on Atkinson at second a little bit. And this is going to be driven into right field. That ball is well hit. Right fielder backpedals. He'll make the catch and not a chance to advance. Ball hung up on him a little bit. The runner's not able to get a lead there, so now there are 2 outs with men at first and second. That's going to bring Sutton Link to the plate. And Link takes a fastball for strike 1. Riders turning early and often on this fastball. Breaking ball is having a hard time finding the plate for the Mustangs. And that one skips in, goes off the umpire. That's going to give them a base. And the Riders advance. Umpire took that one. Not sure where it hit him, but he is going to take a moment and walk it off.
Yeah, that's what you get into the profession for right there.
That's right. Big money for that, folks.
Big money for bruises.
You know, used to we'd say rub a little dirt on it. What do you do on a turf field?
A little synthetic. That's probably not healthy.
Yeah, we're talking kind of quietly because we don't want this guy upset with us, but I think that hurt more than he let on. He's still kind of hobbling along here. All right.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was shin bone.
Okay, so here we go. Link back in. We've got 2 outs. Men at second and third now. And the fastball outside misses. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Link. And that one skips in. Good job by the catcher for the Mustangs. Kept that one in front of him with Atkinson standing at third. That's Pope doing the catching role today for the Mustangs. With 2 outs, Atkinson getting a good lead over at third. Long look by the pitcher. And they're going to call time and back away. So West taking a long time getting the signal from Pope on that particular relay. All right, so reset, and here we go. 3 balls, 1 strike to Link. And the breaking ball finds the strike zones, 3-2. It was a good pitch to take. When you're in a hitter's count like that, you don't want to swing on a high breaking ball. Now's the payoff pitch. 2 outs, full count. And that one skips in, and Link is on. Bases loaded here for the Rough Riders with 2 outs.
2 out scoring. Well, it's good to have 2 runs early before there was an out to be had, but bases loaded now.
Brings
2
up
outs.
Trenton Stockwell. Stockwell, the left-handed bat in the order, and he takes that ball high. We've seen 3 balls skip in on Link. A pass ball here will score Atkinson from third. And fastball catches, 1-1. And that fastball driven into center field. Center fielder's going to make a play, loses his hat, but able to come up with it. Not before the Rough Riders get first blood here. It is 2-0 in Madisonville. Riders jump out with a home run from Mr. Horton. We'll be right back after the words from our sponsors.
So what do you get with Sabine State Bank? Well, Steve Waters and his staff, they know you. They know you by name. And they celebrate the successes when they finance your dreams. But Sabine State Bank is also a fully modern bank with 24-hour online access to your accounts and services ranging from teller services to some of banking's more complicated things. Looking for a place to grow? It's Sabine State Bank.
Granny B's Snow Cone Center is your source for great summer treats. It begins with quality shaved ice. From there you get everything from the single colored snow cone to a really creative summer treat. And besides, the counselor likes it. They're also your home for Dippin' Dots. They've been supporting the Rough Riders for a mighty long time. So pull up to the window at Granny B's and let them serve you something special.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
All right, folks, welcome back to the bottom of the first. The Riders jumped out to an early 2-0 lead. Madisonville's turn at the dish. This is going to be Ty Dean, the left fielder, starting things off. And the Riders put Dalton Horton on the, or excuse me, his cousin is Dalton. This is Mr. Horton on the mound. Logan, who hit the home run in the first inning. And that's going to be a strike. Count now 1-1.
Just joining us, third pitch. First pitch got a runner on first. Third pitch, DQ Dinger, scored 2 runs.
And the breaking ball for strike 2. Horton working quickly. Going to shake off a couple of pitches. Comes with a fastball just out of the zone. Count even 2-2. And that hit hard right up the pitcher's mound, and that'll be a base hit into center field to lead things off here for the Mustangs. Horton's momentum took him the wrong way. The pitch went right back behind his feet, unable to turn and get to that. So we got Jordan Pope comes to the plate, left-handed batter, with a man on first and no outs. And the bunt attempt comes off the plate. That's a live ball, and they make the throw at first base. So home plate is live territory, folks. That bunt went straight down, bounced straight up. Lane made a good play, caught it, went straight to first, and took the out.
Caught it with his throw in hand, and probably a good deal he did. He didn't beat the run by much, did he?
That ball had a lot of spin on it. Had he tried to glove it, he probably wouldn't have come up clean. Caught it in the air barehanded and threw the runner out. So a man at second, one away. And Cannon Hawthorne takes the first pitch for a ball. This is the third baseman for the Mustangs. And swings through a good fastball from Horton. Strike 1.
Yeah, that one had a little heat on it.
That one had a little snap. They're going to work the runner at second. They go to Bellin. Bellin was just off the edge of the bag. Keeps the runner honest.
Almost caught him leaning.
Horton's got a pretty good move there. Bellin had worked in behind him pretty well. That'll keep him a half step closer. And this is going to be driven into center field. It will get down. Runner's going to turn at third. He comes to the plate. The relay will not get there. And Madisonville scores on the cutoff from second. That ball just kind of died in center field. There wasn't enough there for the center fielder to do much with it. So Atkinson came up throwing, but they had to cut it off, and the run scores.
Well, it's three good plays at the plate by the first 3 batters.
All right, this is Isaiah Drake comes to the plate, center fielder. has a man on first and one out. This is going to be hit high but foul. Stockwell goes after it, not a chance there. It was just a little out of his reach.
Let it travel.
One out, one strike, man on first. And this one hit hard, right up the gut. Bellin's going to take it. He bobbles it, but he does make the play at second. Tough play by Bellin. He does cut the run at second, so 2 outs now. The runner is safe at first base. Make the sure out. Bellin able to do that. That's going to bring Cade Campbell to the plate. This is the shortstop with a man at first and 2 out. And the runner goes for second. They're going to make a throw. Lane is going to be close and not in time. Throw just a hair high. Bellin put a good tag on him, but that base stolen cleanly. All right, a 2-out steal by the Mustangs. And swing and a miss. Good pitch from Horton. Blew the fastball right by him. Count now 1-1 with 2 outs. And that one just high. So 2 balls, 1 strike.
We're back.
And the breaking ball, not quite there. Horton thought he had it, 3-1.
I think it was a little high.
Yeah, I think it floated just a hair on him. It was a good look. Ball broke just right, just did not break down. And this one foul back, full count. Full count, 2 outs. They try to get third. They got him. They got him. Good job by Lane.
Man, Lane has got a, not only is it strong, but it's accurate.
Boy, he was quick. The runner broke, and Lane was already coming out of the crouch before he caught the ball, and he hosed him at third base to get the third out. So the Rough Riders able to hold on with quite a few threats in that first inning, but they still have the lead 2-1 here in Madisonville.
Do you own a plot of land? If you do, no matter what the size or the makeup of that plot, Bird Forestry needs to be on your side. They like to say, it's your forest. Let Bird Forestry help you manage it. People come to Covington Lumbers for construction projects, and one of those, paint projects. Whether it's exterior or interior, Covington's has you covered. With the Farrell Calhoun brand, over 120 years of excellence, vivid colors. For paint, it's Covington's. What do you think of when you hear the word ace? In tennis, it means a serve so good, the opponent can't touch it. In warfare, you want your very best, your ace. And in cards, it's the best card you can draw. Same way is true in hardware. Ace is the place for so many things. When you need your best, it's Ace. We appreciate all our sponsors for baseball season: Granny B's Pizzeria, TNR Steaks and More, Bird Forestry, and Ray Jones Chevrolet. If you're looking for, let's talk about just for a second, pre-owned vehicles. That's where you go, because They've got a good selection, and they also are not high pressure. They let you look, they let you drive. They ask you, what can we do for you, not tell you what you need to do for them. That's what you get at Ray Jones Chevrolet says, go Rough Rider baseball. Also appreciate JBI Insurance, Joe Bill Mattier. Every broadcast we do for the Rough Riders, we say a little word of thanks for Joe Bill and what he does for the poultry industry in Shelby County and for people with insurance needs, large, small, east and west. It's JBI Insurance backing the Riders. Now Ellis now getting into place. Something was keeping him from third baseline.
All right, here we go, folks. We got Caden Nutt, DH, steps in to lead things off here in the second for the Rough Riders. Takes the ball outside. Dean West still on the mound for the Mustangs. And this ball hit foul right over our head. Evens count 1-all. Nutt is DHing tonight for Colt Emanis, who is starting us off in left field. And takes that pitch outside. And the Mustang pitcher is consistent. He is fastball away, and then he tries to come back over the middle, but he's having a little hard time getting the ball down in the zone. 3-1 count. That one stays out. Ball 4. Up in the zone. Not able to catch the top, and the Riders have their leadoff man on here in the top of the second. Back to the top of the order for the Riders. Easton Wolf steps back in. Easton led things off with a single in the first, and then was driven in by the home run from Horton.
DQ dinger. It's good to have an RBI from a dinger.
Man, that DQ kind of got me hungry.
Yeah, that's right. And it's hot enough.
Dipped cone, Wallington.
It's not time for a dip cone.
Dipped cone.
And Wolf, this ball gets past the catcher, and just in time, Nutt heads down to second base.
Did he get the umpire hit? I couldn't tell if he.
I think the ball skipped maybe off the shin guard or something.
Yeah,
Not
I
sure
think
what
it
happened
did.
there, and kind of trickled through the wickets. And the Riders have a man at second with no outs. Takes the force out. See what Wolf can do here with a 1-0 count. And he takes a fastball. That one does catch the strike zone, 1-1. And breaking ball hit sharply toward short. He does make a play, but not in time. Easton Wolf beats the throw. They try to go to second, not in time. They do get Nutt sliding into third. Once Easton drew the throw over to first base, Nutt tried to steal one from him, but they were able to come back across the diamond and catch him going into third. So unable to capitalize on that, but Wolf is on at first and 1 out.
You make them make a play, and they did.
So Horton steps back in, following up the big home run in the first inning. Same situation, Wolf at first base. Shows bunt. They're going to throw behind Easton. Easton had already broke. He stole second base all day long, folks. He timed that perfect. They thought they had him leaning and tried to throw behind him, and he was already halfway to second.
Pretty clever.
All right, 1 out, man in scoring position, and Horton steps back in. Breaking ball outside, 1-1. And that one low outside, 2-1. wisely pitching around Horton here. They've got first base open. And that was a breaking ball that just kind of hung up a little bit. Horton fouls it off down the third baseline. Count now 2-2.
It did fool him, though.
Yeah, he was out ahead just a little bit. That would have been ball 3. Wolf breaks for third. Ball's in the dirt, and the catcher trips as he tries to come up. His cleats hung in the turf, and he went down, and Wolf takes third base without a throw. Tough break for the catcher. That young man Pope has been working hard. I think he caught himself with his own cleat and kind of tripped over.
He did. That's exactly what happened.
And this is going to be fouled away. Good job by Horton. Facing a 3-1 count, and that was a breaking ball. Would have been right in the strike zone. All right, Wolf 90 feet away. Horton with a full count and 1 out. And this one fouled off his foot. And a throwaway. Took the Mustangs a second to remember that that's a live ball.
Yeah, even though it's right after.
Fortunately, Wolf was walking back and didn't see it.
Right.
And a breaking ball slapped into center field. It's going to stay up. Wolf tags. He's going to score easily. And the Riders with a 3-1 lead.
We have celebratory music.
Yeah.
The Riders.
Yeah,
Take it in.
Someone was calling and saying, "Go Riders."
All right, so Wolf able to tag up and score that run on the RBI sacrifice. So Horton adds another RBI to his resume tonight. And TJ Bellin steps in with empty bases and 2 outs. And Bellin goes up swinging. Good fastball, just misses it. Fouls that one off the back screen. And the breaking ball outside misses. 1-1. And this one fouled back by Bella.
He was tracking it good. He just got a little bit under it, I think. Right?
Yeah, just a little quick on the breaking ball, or that ball would have been driven well. So 1-2 count. He's going to step out and think about it a little bit. Bellin has switched shoes, folks. He is in the purple away shoes tonight, not his normal golden. And foul tip. And the catcher catches that for strike 3. So tough break for Bellin, but the Riders tack on an insurance run. It is 3-1 here in Madisonville, headed to the bottom of the second.
Of course, this game is brought to you by Sabine State Bank, which is our series sponsor. They bring this game and then the game on Friday back at the Rough Rider Field, which we call the horseshoe.
The horseshoe.
Yep.
That's right.
We'll be right back.
So if you need a new set of tires, Center Tire's the place to go? Check. What if you just need one tire repaired? Check. But what if your car needs an oil change or it needs to be aligned? Check and check. It's all there at Center Tire. The series between the Mustangs and Rough Riders brought to you by Sabine State Bank.
Hope Community Medicine is a nonprofit faith initiative
with a primary mission of providing quality health care to the people of East Texas, regardless of race, religion, socioeconomic status, or ability to pay. At Hope Community Medicine, they want to be the leading deep East Texas care provider, recognized for their outstanding patient care, innovative technologies, programs, and medicines, as well as a highly motivated and distinguished staff. Hope Community Medicine, founded in faith, focused on family.
Sandy Cox is a good State Farm agent. Just ask Drake. He knows. State Farm agents in general are pretty cool, but Sandy Cox has the answers to your questions. Like, what's best for me, for my kids, for my business, for my farm? For all of us in Shelby County, those questions can be answered at Sandy Cox State Farm.
Everybody, welcome back. Here's the first pitch of the bottom of the second.
And that one's going to be in the gap. Let's see if Wolf makes a play on it. Big throw. No, not in time. Boy, he caught that deep in the hole.
That was awful close for one that I didn't think was going to be very close at all.
Wolf went backhanded with it, but just not able to get enough on the throw. He was a step on the grass. That was Kendall Campbell, the right fielder that made that hit the pitch, and he'll be safe at first base. That's going to bring up the DH, Zane Blakely. Horton checks him and got him. Yes, sir. Horton caught him leaning, checked on him, and he's going to set him down. So erase the single from Kendall Campbell. He's going to be picked off at first base. Boy, Horton was cat quick on that. And a swing and a miss to follow up. Another strike. Yes, sir. 2 in a row from Horton. And he ices him, folks, for strike 3. A twice the ice strikeout for Logan Horton.
Anywhere in the county you want ice, you go to Twice the Ice, or you go to Logan Horton.
That's right.
One of two locations.
He is cold-blooded tonight, folks. Picks off the batter at first and strikes out the batter at the plate. So 2 outs in a hurry for Mr. Horton. This is going to be fouled out of play.
Yeah, Will Blacksher, who is the owner of the Twice the Ice, will be very proud of that play right there. That was 3 pitches, right?
I'll tell you what.
Strike 1, 2, 3.
It was quick, and it's getting ice season. It's nice and warm out here this afternoon.
Oh,
Way
nice
ahead
pitch
on the breaking ball for strike 2. Horton has got him guessing. Comes back, skips in a fastball. 1-2. And that one outside, 2-2. Logan's my neighbor, lives just down the street from me. I can always tell when he goes by because his truck is like lit up like the 4th of July. There's lights. Oh, this one hit hard toward third. Link comes up, throws across. Nope, not in time. Ball took a high hop on Link. Not able to get there in time, so the runner is safe at first. So 2 outs, man on first. It's going to bring up number 7, Christian Bustamante. He is the 9-hole hitter for the Mustangs. But Horton's truck has lights, has more lights, has lights on the wheels, has lights on the bumpers.
He doesn't sell snow cones or anything, does he?
No, just a little bit of music and he'd be there. Little calliope music. But Logan, fine young man, doing a great job here for the Rough Riders tonight.
We want to make sure people see you.
He wants to be seen. That's the deal. He's doing it for safety purposes.
Or a pitcher. Pitchers do odd things.
Fastball outside. He's certainly lighting things up here tonight. Already has a 2-run homer. Time at the plate. And fastball for a strike. Count now 1-1 with 2 outs. And that one way ahead, foul tip, off-speed pitch.
You obviously want to get this guy. You don't want to have two on with the top of the order coming up.
Yeah, you want to put the 9-hole hitter down right here. Coach making some adjustments in the outfield. And that pitch high and out of the zone. Lane thought about going to first base. Runner had kind of trickled off a little bit over there. If you look at the outfield configuration, Coach Ellis has moved his left fielder to left center, center fielder to right center, and the right fielder is just off the edge of the grass.
Yeah, we've seen him do this over time.
And this hits softly right up the gut. That's going to be a base hit, and they're going to dig for third. Atkinson comes up throwing. He's going to throw it in. So runners at the corners, little two-out hit for the Mustangs, and they stay alive here in the bottom of the second. So back to the top of the order, just what you talked about, Counselor. You do not want to bring the leadoff hitter up, but Ty Dean is going to step back in. 2 outs, runners at first and third.
About what do you think his height is?
He's 5 foot, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Makes for a heck of a leadoff hitter. Small strike zone.
I bet he is greased lightning. And strike from Horton. Left-handed batter here.
Got on first his first time up, best I remember.
And that pitch just trickles away from Lane, but no damage there. We are holding the runner at first with Horton's move that he's already shown on. That's going to keep everybody in check there. They pick again. Got him. Yes, sir. That's 2 in 1 inning, folks. Horton with a fantastic move to first base gets his second victim of the second inning. Wow. That's the way to shut down a threat.
It doesn't happen much that you get 2 outs from that, but that's what happened.
So the Rough Riders will head to the top of the third with the lead 3-1 here in Madisonville.
You're watching the Rough Rider baseball team, brought to you by Sabine State Bank.
One of my favorite memories is waking up on Sunday morning at Grandma's house to the smell of breakfast. Now, Diamond B Cafe's not quite Grandma's house, but it's pretty darn close. Now, it may take an extra minute to get the food to the table, but quality takes time. Diamond B Cafe on the corner of Timpson and Tenahawk in the center. If you're in a hurry and need a quick pick-me-up, stop by Diamond B Coffee, 500 Hurst Street, serving specialty coffees, breakfast, lunch, and sweets.
Serving our communities for over a century, Farmers State Bank continues to meet the financial needs of East and Central Texas. With roots that run deep, Farmers State Bank serves as a source of financial strength to meet the needs of our neighbors. From a comprehensive range of financial products to individual service, we remain dedicated to being a true community bank.
Here we're back. Axon's going to hit a dribbler back to the pitcher. It was slightly adventurous.
Yeah, that one just didn't come off like he'd hoped. Kind of dribble back to West down on the mound. He's able to turn and flip it over to first base for the first out. That's going to bring Gage Vadrine to the plate.
He made good contact in the first inning.
And that one skips in. When we were talking about the early start here tonight, we came to Madisonville. They've got an all-turf field. Started early due to all the weather that we had earlier in the week. And that one's going to foul back, 1-1. Wonder what it would take to get the Rough Rider field elevated enough to drain enough to put turf in. You'd probably have to bring 3 or 4 foot of soil in for the whole field, kind of down in the bowl.
It would be an engineering project.
This hit hard, and the first baseman, folks, makes a great play. Tough break for the Riders. Gage Vadrine hit that sharp, but the first baseman, Nash, comes up with it. Kind of one of those, oh, my goodness, look what I found.
That's
and
right.
the Riders find themselves down 2 outs already.
I wonder, like, if you have still got a pumping system, if that'd be cheaper.
Yeah, you'd have to put in some major underground drainage and pump it all out, pump it up and out.
Yep.
And Lane rockets one into the gap, and he's going to have a single. Boy, that ball was scalded. Good job of hitting by Jaden Lane with 2 outs. And he's going to get a courtesy runner for the catcher. And Sutton Link's going to step in with 2 outs and a man on first. And they try to pick at first base, not in time. Chris, you missed one of the most acrobatic plays we've ever seen. Yeah. Link going behind his back at Bullard to make a throw to first base. I've never seen it, not in a live game.
Right.
And they pick again, safe over at first base.
We may have the Walton Shires Pierce Productions intro coming, and I'm not saying, but that may be on the intro.
That may be on the intro. It was so amazing.
I watched your post-game show. I heard Coach talking about it, how he was kind of amazed too.
And Link takes that for a ball.
No, Coach was not amazed. He says he does it in practice on a regular basis. And
he said,
trying to coach it out of him, but decided he wasn't going to do it.
He said he couldn't explain it. That's right.
Yeah, he's like, hey, he does it so well. Why tell him to stop? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Link is going to hit this just over the shortstop. Yep. That ball falls in for a base hit. So 2 base hits with 2 outs here for the Riders. Good job. Sutton Link dropped that in right behind the shortstop. And the Riders got a little something going with 2 outs.
Stay on your camera.
Trenton Stockwell comes up.
Stay on your camera.
All right. Trying to keep this 2-out train rolling. Stockwell with 2 men on and 2 outs. He's going to take a fastball, strike 1. And the breaking ball is going to be fouled off his foot. So down in the count 0-2 here. Stockwell with a little work to do. Long look by the pitcher. And the breaking ball is going to catch Stockwell looking, and that's strike 3. So the Riders maintain their lead. It's 3-1. We are in the top of the 3rd inning. We are here in Madisonville due to the weather issues that rolled through earlier in the week. Things were nice and wet in center, so they swapped around a little bit. They'll come back home to center Friday night. Hopefully a little sunshine will dry things up.
Have a little bit of information on that. It looks like that Friday is going to be a 5 o'clock start too. JV's going to have hopefully a doubleheader on Thursday. But early start for the Madisonville team as they travel on Friday. Very glad that you are with us. We are equally glad here as we just finished the top of the 3rd, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
We're also glad that Ray Jones Chevrolet is with us for Chevrolets or for pre-owned cars of any stripe, any age. It's Ray Jones. Talk to Marlon Ray, Mr. Chevrolet. Also appreciate Bird Forestry, who helps business manage nature so that the two can coexist harmoniously. And it started just as a basic forestry service and has grown to be an indispensable regional power in keeping business and environment in harmonious relationship. Bird Forestry has long backed center baseball. And Covington Lumber Supply, the third generation of Covingtons, supplying building supplies and Farrell Calhoun paint and, of course, the best lumber. Finally, just down the road, Ace Hardware. Yeah, it's a hardware store, but it's also where you go for shower gifts, clothing, everything that you could think of for work is at Ace Hardware. They back the Riders.
All right, here we are in the bottom of the third. Ty Dean is going to step back in, folks. He was at the plate when the runner at first was picked off by Horton.
Right.
So Dean's going to get another swing, and he takes ball one. And that one right down the middle for strike one. So the count now 1-1. Horton, of course, picked off 2 runners at first base in the second inning. This is hit sharply to third. Good play. Boy, Sudden Link just stood there and said, I'll take it.
Caught that out of self-defense.
If you're going to hit it right at me, I'll catch it.
All right.
Well, the sun, though, is cooking. I mean, remember, it's an early start time, so we are playing at 5:50, and the sun is still just beaming down on that third baseman.
Probably worse than it's been for the last 2 innings, but the next 2 innings.
And Jaden Pope steps in. He takes a ball high.
It will eventually get down below the press box, but that's probably another 15, 20 minutes away.
And a good-looking fastball. Horton changed his eyes a little bit. He came in hot with a fastball high and then brought it down low for the strike. So 1-1. Comes back outside there. 2-1. And that one right down the middle, hit hard. Bellin's going to come up with an easy glover, and he's out at first base. Good job, TJ. One thing you do like about turf, if you've ever played on turf or been around it, you get true hops. I mean, the grass is not the same turf they play on football fields. That field is different. This has a almost a slick feel to it so that the ball comes off true, and Bellin able to put that one away.
And there's zero difference between the track and the grass. I mean, just different color.
That's right.
And it's, man.
And this is Hathorn, the third baseman, and a ball and a strike to him with 2 outs here. Boy, Horton is, I think he's getting faster as the game goes on.
Yeah, he's just getting warmed up.
Smoke that one in there, but an easy play for Stockwell over at first base, and the Riders set them down 1-2-3, and we will pick up the bats and come back for the 5th.
For the 5th? Okay, for the 4th.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 4th inning.
Well,
inning.
I'm sure glad you said
we're
that.
We're playing so quickly. I got ahead of myself on the inning, and I looked at the scoreboard, and I'm like, that guy's wrong.
We're going to have time to play again.
Yeah. Why is the scoreboard guy wrong? And he's not. I am.
Our series today, both today's game and Friday, brought to you by Sabine State Bank. Steve Waters, his crew, just next to Berkshire Brothers, close to where the office that Locke is on loan for us from, right there on Hurst Street, has done a lot of good for a lot of folks with that hometown, small-town family approach to banking. It makes sense in Shelby County, Sabine State Bank. Granny B Snow Cone, you know it's summer when you go to Granny B's close to the square. What's your favorite snow cone flavor?
You know, I'm a traditionalist. I like something fruity, Hawaiian maybe, strawberry. Hey, you can get crawfish and snow cones over there now.
Crawfish flavored snow cone?
They've got crawfish, so I'm sure they could work something in like a crawfish flavor for those true diehards.
If you're really adventurous,
I'll stick with the fruity stuff.
But what about just down the road at Pizzeria? What's your favorite there?
Oh man, I know this sounds crazy, but I am a pineapple Canadian bacon guy.
Really?
I am all the way.
I know that you're not. You're not in small company. A lot of people love that, but I didn't know that about you. And then TNR Steaks and More, where you take the family for anything they want. They can have it in the quantity they want at TNR Steaks and More. They have been for the last 4 or 5 years now backers of center baseball. And now the Riders up 3-1 as we move to the top of the 4th. Riders back into bat.
Caden Nutt steps in, the DH for the Rough Riders. And he takes a fastball low and away, ball one. Caden DHing tonight for Colt Emanis, who's playing in left field. And same pitch on the inside corner, misses as well, so 2-0. And Caden fouls this breaking ball off at the plate, so 2-1. Riders still nursing a 3-1 lead here. And that one gets all the way past the catcher, 3-1.
If you're just joining us, in 3 pitches, the Riders were led 2-0 after our pitcher hit DQ Dinger, the 2-run homer, added another run in the 3rd inning. Madisonville scored their run in the 1st inning as well.
And that pitch outside, good job by the DH, drawing a walk. So Caden Nutt is on to lead things off here in the 4th inning. That's going to bring us back to the top of the order with Easton Wolf stepping in. Wolf's already been on twice tonight.
He scored twice, right?
That's right, and showed a lot of speed at the his last at bat. He stole second base on kind of a little. He kind of faked the pitcher step to throw to first, and before he looked up, Easton was already standing on second base, and that pitch high misses for a ball. Easton kind of goaded him into a throw to first, and the trick worked well. Man on, no outs. And Easton puts this one in the gap. Good piece of hitting there. That's going to go all the way to left field. And a single by Easton Wolf.
3 for 3 on the night.
All right, Logan Horton's going to step in. Got 2 men on and no outs. Coach Ellis wants to talk about this a little bit. May see a little trickeration here.
Yeah, there they are. Just beyond
well, the pitcher's going to come out and the coach is going to come out and take the ball. So
okay.
That's going to do it for Dean West. His night is over.
Okay. Well, Mr. Shires, that gives us a chance to take a break and thank some folks as we have a 3-1 lead. 2 runners on, a change of pitcher here in the top of the 4th.
The games have never been bigger this fall, and whether you're rooting for the Cowboys or Texans, or you hook 'em, gig 'em, or wreck 'em, don't you deserve to watch them in style? So just a reminder that Blake Furniture saves you money on everything you need to make these the best game watching days ever.
Pineywood Sports and NETSN say thank you to our season-long sponsors that proudly bring us Center softball and baseball. Ace Hardware is the place. Center Tire, new ownership, new services, same attention to quality. And Covington Lumber, your 3rd-generation supply store and lumber yard. These fine following sponsors bring you our coverage of Pineywood Sports. Lasting impressions, because you deserve the best. Dr. Deborah Worsham, the local and professional touch. Rancho Grande and Timpson, Shelby County's destination for special events. And First National Bank, a tradition you can trust. These fine sponsors bring us the Pineywood's Game of the Week. You're watching NETSN and Pineywood Sports coverage of Rough Rider baseball. Tonight, the Rough Riders take on the Madisonville Mustangs live from the Horseshoe in Center, Texas.
We're back. All right, welcome back, folks. Here we go.
All right, new
2
pitcher.
runners on. Yep.
Man at first and second, no outs. Logan Horton at the plate. Horton's going to rip this down the third baseline. They'll step on third for the out. So one away. We are still at first and second. They were able to force play at third to get Nutt. That's going to bring T.J. Bellin to the plate. I think Horton was looking for a fastball there, got an off-speed pitch, and just ripped it sharp down the third baseline. And a breaking ball to Bellin, strike one.
Big swing.
Yeah, TJ was swinging for the gym with that one. Should come back fastball here. Nope, another breaking ball. TJ's going to foul this one out of play. 3 breaking balls in a row from the new pitcher. That is one of the Campbells. That's Cade Campbell, number 6, who has come in to pitch here. And just a turn to second. No throw, so we'll reset. It's a 0-2 count, no outs. Runners at first and second for T.J. Bellin. And that one in the dirt goes to the screen. Riders will advance with no throw. Tried to throw his fastball that time, but he held on to it just a little long, and the ball skipped right in front of the plate and went past the catcher. So now the count 1-2 with 1 out. Runners at second and third. And this hit sharply. The run should score here. They're going to go to first. So the RBI sacrificed by Bellin. And they take third on the overthrow. Here comes Horton. And there'll be a play at the plate. Safe at the plate. The Riders take 2 more. Good piece of base running there, folks. They came across to get Bellin at first. Bellin gets the RBI. And then Horton snuck into third base. They tried to make a throw. They threw it away. Horton pops up and takes home. So the Riders tack on 2 more. It's 5-1 in Madisonville.
Smart ball.
Heads up play there by Horton. Good job by T.J. Bellin putting down a tough pitch to get that started.
Well, early on, it's looking good for some Bucky's Munchos here for a while.
That's right.
Long way to go, but
you just can't pass it up. If you're in Madisonville, you
just got to
do it.
I'm getting Munchos.
Sue me. I mean, we got to hold on to the win. I said it's looking good early.
Yeah.
All right. So Atkinson steps in here. Bases are empty with 2 outs, but the Riders add a couple more runs. And swings on a pitch outside for a strike.
If we don't win, I get some cheese and water.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe some peanut butter crackers.
Yeah, old cheese, hard cheese. And that one in the dirt outside. 2-1. Yeah, tell them you want Bucky nuts that are like 3 weeks old.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
I doubt they have them that long.
Good ammunition.
So many people come in and out of there.
And that pitch high and outside. 3-1.
Campbell better be careful with this pitch. If he grooves one, Atkinson will put it in the trees.
And
he
does, but it was off speed. Yeah. So full count now, 3-2. Yeah, that was right down the middle. He just backed off and threw a changeup. Atkinson was a little bit out front. Full count, 2 out. And this one driven hard into left. And it gets down and gets past the left fielder.
3.
That's going to go to the fence. Atkinson turns on the Jets. He hits second and digs for third. And here it goes. He is safe at third base. A triple for Cody Atkinson with 2 outs.
A DQ bomber. Not quite a dinger over the fence, but a heck of a hit when we need it with the runs mounting up. Scoring threat at third with 2 outs.
So that's Ty Dean. The left fielder tried to make a diving play. Unfortunately, the ball got down. Now, we don't know how much the sun affected that.
Right, but it had to have.
But it had to have, and he missed it and went all the way to the fence. But Atkinson, wow.
Given the grief it's causing me, I can only imagine how much worse it is for the third baseman and the left fielder.
So Vadrine is going to swing through strike one. Another off-speed pitch there. Change up. So 2 outs. Atkinson standing at third base. Ryder still can do a little more damage here. That one breaks inside. 1-1.
That one was awful close from catching the inside corner.
And the fastball foul back. Good job by Vadrine to fight that pitch away. Man, Atkinson, what a spot. That was a full count, 2 outs, and he ripped that ball into left field. And this one's going to be hitting the gap. Shortstop will make a play. Can he get there? And the call, yes, they say he is out at first base.
That's right. It was bang, bang. Beth.
That was a bang, bang. But how about the Rough Riders coming in and tacking on 2 more? The Riders lead 5-1 here in the 4th inning.
Batters Law Firm is your first choice in personal injury law. Jeff Batters and his staff lead the way in the area with Best of Nacogdoches and Best of Lufkin votes over the last several years. If your case matters, it's got to be Batters.
Hope Community Medicine is a nonprofit faith initiative with a primary mission of providing quality health care to the people of East Texas, regardless of race, religion, socioeconomic status, or ability to pay. At Hope Community Medicine, they want to be the leading deep East Texas care provider recognized for their outstanding patient care, innovative technologies, programs, and medicines, as well as a highly motivated and distinguished staff. Hope Community Medicine, founded in faith, focused on family.
At Shelby Savings Bank, the same thing that's true at the Selma Street location is true at the North Branch. It's where banking meets the smile. They're not just friendly tellers, they're your friendly tellers. And the smile on Manager Janet's face, it's contagious. When you say Shelby Savings Bank is your friendly hometown bank, well, you hit it right on the nose.
Father, for lunch today, I would like a salad.
Father, for lunch, I'd like one of those American cheeseburgers.
I'm a vegetarian.
Cheeseburger, that's what I need. Ice cream.
Oh, when everyone in your family thinks they're royalty, take them someplace where they can all get something good. Dairy Queen. All right, everybody. Bottom of the 4th, Rough Riders have a 2-run 4th inning, leading 5-1 here in Madisonville. Horton's had a good outing through the first 3 innings. Now he takes it to the bottom of the 4th.
Isaiah Drake steps in, and he's going to check swing strike. Drake plays center field for the Mustangs. And comes back with a good fastball, hit sharply into center. Atkinson makes it a can of corn. That ball was scalded. Atkinson was in the right place at the right time and puts it away.
Good defense. It's been a good team outing, hasn't it, here in the first of a series brought to you by Sabine State Bank. Little bank in Center Texas is a part of a big, powerful.
And this ball hit sharply. Atkinson on his horse and makes the second play. So 2 swings, 2 outs. Both of them land in Atkinson's glove.
Not bad. It's not bad. I was saying that Sabine State Bank part of a big, powerful group of banks, but the way it looks in center is it's your family bank. They bring us this series. And 2 outs now for Atkinson on 2 pitches.
Kendall Campbell steps in, second of the Campbells. And that ball low and outside, ball 1. Finally got a little bit of breeze out there. You see the flag trying to blow. And this one fouled into the dugout, 1-1. Been pretty still here this afternoon.
Yeah.
Nice and warm.
And the temperature's in the 70s, but it feels a lot warmer than that.
Feels a lot warmer with the sun right on our back, unfortunately, right in the left field short and third baseman's face. Riders kind of have a shift on here. And that one fouled away for strike 2. Bellin all the way over on the shortstop side of the bag. Vedrine in tight on the grass over in right field. 1-2 count, 2 outs. And the breaking ball out and away. 2-2.
Both of his foul balls, even though they were on fastballs, he'd swung around and knocked them foul on the third base line. So not expecting him to go to right field.
And this one hit into right field and over the head. The Riders had that shift play on, and that one came back to haunt them. That'll be a double.
They get him at second?
And Campbell, they kept the tag on him. Campbell rolled off the bag, but I guess he made contact. So Wolf thought he had him. Campbell slid in safe, but then he just rolled right off.
Wow.
All right. Well, they called him safe. So
and showing no signs whatsoever that he would even be able to hit it to right field, and then that's exactly what he did.
Kind of fought that pitch off. It was in on his hands a little bit. Now, Coach Ellis is going to come out and talk to Horton. Logan has done a fantastic job from the mound today. And tacked on a couple of hits to go with it and a home run.
Two outs in this inning on 2 pitches. Then that guy fought him well. So we also say thank you to everybody that makes these kinds of broadcasts possible, including Shell Mooney on the square at Mooney's Emporium with Easter coming up. If they're gift instances and opportunities for you, lots of weddings coming up, and it's birthday and celebration season for seniors in school. So for all those things, go to the square. Shell Mooney has you covered with Mooney's Emporium.
Bought my wife a gift there for her birthday not long ago.
Oh, yeah.
A Consuela, I can say it, Consuela journal. She has these real fancy journals you can buy. No idea what you do with them.
You write it.
I know what you know. You put it in your Consuela purse.
Your Consuela purse that goes in your Consuela bag.
Yes.
Yeah. I bet Shell can fix you up on all 3.
I can guarantee you she did.
All right, so Zane Blakely's in. 2 outs, takes the ball. Runner at second. And they're going to pick at second. Nice turn by Horton. Keeps the runner honest. And the breaking pitch for the strike. Well, Horton took a lot off that one. That one just kind of floated up there. The batter was already swung all the way around before the ball got to the plate. 1-1. And another breaking ball. That one actually broke off the plate just a little too much. So 2-1. Good looking pitch in the same spot.
Yeah.
Just too much tail at the end. And backs it up in the same spot, 2-2. So throws the changeup in right behind the breaking ball.
Horton's coming. He's not coming straight up with that. He's got a little bit of sidearm on that.
Comes back with the same pitch, swing through, and a tag at the plate by Lane, and that'll do it. We're headed to the top of the 5th. Rough Riders 5-1 over the Madisonville Mustangs.
So if you need a new set of tires, Center Tire's the place to go? Check. What if you just need one tire repaired? Check. But what if your car needs an oil change or it needs to be aligned? Check and check. It's all there at Center Tire.
So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center.
So, you know, Wallington, that my go-to place for especially good eating stuff is Shell Mooney at Mooney's Emporium.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes you may have to go get something that she don't have. It's rare, but but if she don't have it, White Cottage is going to have it.
And such a beautiful store. It just
Yes.
goes on and on.
They got all kinds of stuff in there.
And then the furniture that he makes.
Yes.
And it's just an artisan's place.
I mean,
White Cottage helps bring us the
I'm
spring
surprised
sports.
you, Locke, hadn't got me a set of teaspoons since I'm a like they call me tea sipper.
That's right. That's right. I'll keep that in mind.
A Christmas idea.
That's right.
From White Cottage. That's good.
All right, Jaden Lane steps in to get things going here in the top of the fifth for the Riders. Takes ball one. And it's going to swing through a breaking ball. So 1-1 to Lane. And this hits sharply to third. Lane's going to have to beat this one out. And the throw is made, and he is out here in the top of the fifth. So well hit ball, just hit it right to the third baseman. That's going to bring Sutton Link back to the plate.
Folks at home seeing the scoreboard are going to think I'm crazy. But I am making our best guess on this stuff.
And Link's going to pop the first pitch he sees out of play, foul. Comes back off the net. And that pitch breaks away from him. So the count now 1-1. Need to get some of the DQ and get it to Link. I think he weighs like a $105 out there maybe. Need to beef him up a little. Takes ball two, so the count now 2-1 to Link. And that pitch outside, 3-1. Link working himself into a good spot here.
Our home plate umpire, he's got a line out there, and the guys are.
And that should be ball four. Link is on. So Link draws a one-out walk here. I will say this, I don't say it often, but this umpire has been very consistent for both teams.
Yeah, but he's got a line right there on that outside corner, right?
That's right.
And we've seen Logan dance in and out. We see this pitcher do that too. He's missed a couple that are right there, right off the plate.
So Stockwell steps in, one out, man on first. And that pitch outside.
So I need to make a comment on Stockwell. I got to apologize for on him because on the big play, the big crazy play against Palestine. We'll talk about it here after this pitch.
And that pitch outside.
So he's on first base. Wolf comes up and slaps a triple, and Stockwell's coming around third. He holds up. Easton is already 3/4 away to third. When it's a big mess, a traffic jam. And I go, oh my God, it's going to be a disaster. And we're talking about Stockwell, but then Coach Amber told me today that Ellis admitted that he put the stop on because he had no idea that Easton was that fast. So Stockwell did what he was supposed to do.
Well,
and so
and a big man in Coach Ellis to admit it.
Right.
So 3-0 count here. Let's see if Stockwell gets on. And ball four pitch walk to Stockwell. The Riders with 2 walks here. And that's going to bring up Caden Nutt again, the DH. Yeah, Stockwell did what he was told and caused a traffic jam, huh?
Right, we're lucky that the ball got past the third baseman, and Stockwell was able to get home, or get on his horse and get home.
All right, with one out.
It was a huge play because they were still up 3-1 at that point. We were able to get 3-2, and then I think we got Easton home.
So they're not holding runners. This is a good spot for a bunt. We got one out. 9-hole hitter at the plate. No, he swings away. This might drop, folks. This might drop.
Oh, what a catch.
What a play.
Nice catch by the number 15.
What a play by number 15, and they substituted. That's Isaiah Drake in center field.
Huh.
Give him credit. A sliding play. We never thought he'd get there to make the out. So 2 outs now. Took one away from Caden Nutt.
I wonder if he's a Drake with the Drake auto place there right on Highway 21, just past.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, you're right.
Could very well be.
I've had my car fixed there one time, but I broke down on the way to Austin.
So Easton Wolf's going to step in. 2 outs here, man at first and second. And a breaking ball gets away from the catcher. The Riders are going to try to advance. No throw, and we take 2 more bases.
Pope hustled out to get the ball, and then he was getting ready to throw it down the third, and it just kind of trickled out of his hand.
All right, so Wolf with a chance to do a little 2-out damage here. Got runners at second and third.
Great player of the game, tightly contested between Wolf and Logan. This might put Wolf out front if he can slap a single here.
And that one down deep in the wickets. The catcher able to keep that one in front. I thought it was going to get by. That's 2-0 here on Wolf.
I believe, did we decide he is 2 for 2?
3 for 3.
3 for 3.
3 for 3. And a breaking ball well outside, 3-0. They are staying away from Wolf here.
Yep.
They got first base open with 2 outs.
I know that he was 3 for 3. I know he scored 2 runs. I want to say he scored 3. Not sure about that.
Got to be a perfect pitch here, 3-0. I'm sure Wolf has a green light. And that one in the dirt, ball 4. The Riders are all over the bases.
I think that was an intentional walk there, Locke.
That was a pitch around, don't let him hit anything hard walk. Yeah, that's going to draw a visit from the Madisonville coach. We got bases loaded, 2 outs, and Logan Horton strides to the plate, and we all know what he did in the first inning with a 2-run homer. They don't want any part of him.
Riders ahead 5-1 in the top of the 5th, visiting here in Madisonville a little early, scheduled for center, but the weather in the weekend, we came to an artificial surface, ahead by 5-1 in the series, brought to you by Sabine State Bank. Appreciate Sabine State Bank for all of what they do with our coverage of our young people and Rough Rider athletics and around the county.
Who's saying that?
We also have Larry Pierce today with Joaquin and Gary, I think, are about to begin.
Tell Dr. Morris that we're done jacking with the camera.
Yeah. And the little technical trouble here tonight, folks.
Right, and that's Wallington's fault. As me and Pierce like to say, it's always Wallington's fault.
I'm here, so it is my fault.
The camera was not supposed to be on that shot while I was getting that fixed. So sorry about that, Dr. Morris.
Dr. Morris keeping us on our toes.
That's right. That's what we like. We like feedback, both positive and helpful.
And more Dr. Morris's.
Yeah. All right. Hey, we got a good moment here, folks.
Yeah,
there are 2 outs, bases loaded. Logan Horton at the plate, and he's going to take a strike on the outside corner. So Madisonville, after a long talk with their coach, here we go. Let's see what happens. And that is going to be a breaking ball, fouled off the umpire again.
Oh.
He's
earning his money tonight.
And Coach Ellis wisely is going to call a little bit of time and pretend to talk to Horton, but he's really giving the umpire time to catch his breath.
All right.
Dude, he's going to have a knot on his arm on that one, man. That hurt just right here from right here. He's a tough fella back there. I forgot who he is.
Yeah, he might be our Center Motor Company player of the game.
He's definitely the Ray Jones Chevrolet tough guy.
That's right. All right, here we go. Count 0-2 to Horton. And he's just going to tap this. It's a slow roller. What are they going to do? They threw it away at first base. One run scores. First baseman had to dive off the bag to catch it. They sacrifice a run to keep that ball from going over his head. So Horton is safe at first base. The Riders score one. It is now 6-1. And a near disaster for the Mustangs. Had that ball got past the first baseman, we'd have scored at least two.
He didn't get the out, but he got the ball. Damage control by the first baseman.
That was the only play he had.
Yeah, that's a wise play there. So Bellin comes up, bases loaded, two outs. And he rips one deep into right field. Right fielder gives chase and makes the play, makes it look a little tough out there, but he makes the play. But, hey, folks, the Riders tack on another run. It is 6-1 here in the fifth inning.
All right, it's that time. But, you know what, we'll play Farmer's Bait when we come back. We're going to need a cappella.
Okay.
Go get Locke to join you with his lower register voice. It'll be good.
We got it.
All right, so it's the fifth inning stretch brought to you by Farmer State Bank.
Serving our communities for over a century, Farmers State Bank continues to meet the financial needs of East and Central Texas. With roots that run deep, Farmers State Bank serves as a source of financial strength to meet the needs of our neighbors. From a comprehensive range of financial products to individual service, we remain dedicated to being a true community bank. Farmers State Bank, improving lives and fulfilling dreams.
All right, it's time. Chris Watlington.
It's time for Take Me Out to the Ball Game. I have the camera on the center fans. Let's hear it. Ready? Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. I made some peanuts and cracker jacks. Come on, everybody. Don't care if I ever get back. Let me root for the home. We got 2 or 3. If I don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause it's
1, 2, 3 strikes. We're out at the old ball game.
They're learning.
That's right.
They're learning.
Not quite Harry Carey, but.
No. We're going to train them.
You haven't had enough Budweiser. Harry Carey.
Harry was 3 sheets, 4 sheets, maybe 5 sheets by then.
Come on.
Come on, Cubbies. All right, here we go. Hey, there's a baseball game going on.
That's right.
And that pitch high and outside. Horton doing a great job off the mound tonight. Makes things a little easier with a 6-1 lead in the fifth inning. And this is straight up and getting out of play.
Oh, just barely.
Yes, boy, that was tight, folks. Just barely got into the net. Jaden Lane was standing there waiting. Well, that sun getting tough. You saw Horton shading his eyes just to catch the throwback from Lane. All right, so the count now 1-1.
Gotta like the Riders' performance tonight, methodically putting 6 on the board.
This is Clayton Nash at the plate. He is the first baseman.
I don't think so.
This hit hard. That's going to be in the gap.
Well, that's at least
That's
2.
a single. He's going to stretch to a double. They're going to hold him at 2. So a good piece of hitting by the number 8. The number 8 hole hitter. That's Clayton Nash with a stand-up double for the Mustangs. That's one of the few hits that Horton has given up all night.
Number 14 coming in to run.
So a courtesy runner in. Christian Belamonte comes to the plate. He is the second baseman with no outs and a man on second. Fastball right up the gut. Bellin, just out of reach.
He had snagged it.
Goes into center field. They are going to hold the runner at third. And Bustamante able to take second base on the throw. So Madisonville suddenly catches some life here In the bottom of the 5th with no outs, they've got men at 2nd and 3rd.
No, with the lower end of their order doing it. So
That's the 8 and 9 hole. That's right. This is going to be Ty Dean, the left fielder. He comes back up at the top of the order. So this is really the first defensive threat that the Riders have had since the bottom of the 1st.
Yeah. Of course, they'll trade runs for outs here. Even though our third base, we're in on the grass.
Horton with a fastball strike to start off Dean. And that pitch catches the inside corner for strike 2. Left-handed batter here, so the Riders have a little bit of a lee over toward the right field side. Sutton Link playing kind of midway at third base. And that one's going to be fouled off his leg. So 0-2 count. Runner at third base could be taking a heck of a secondary, but he's not. He's got his first lead, but he's just staying there. He could come way down the line. And that one, no swing. Right. No swing. He stepped into the pitch, but are they going to appeal?
I think we're asking for an appeal.
They're going to appeal. Umpires are going to go talk about it. He stepped into the swing and dropped his hand straight down, but he did make an attempt at the ball.
I thought he broke his wrist for sure.
What a big decision this would be if it goes the Riders' way, though, out of the inning.
So the rule book says you have to make an attempt at the ball, and they are going to say he did not. He dropped his hands,
right,
but the bat went straight down, not necessarily through the strike zone, so it's kind of a goofy call. All right, well, one way or the other, it's a 1-2 count. Big moment here for Horton. And a floater. Oh, thought that caught the strike zone. So did Horton. He asked where it was. 2-2 count.
I think it was maybe a bit high.
Lane framed it up good.
Yeah.
And that one's going to skip, and Horton will go to first for the out, and we'll take the out at first base. So a run scores. That makes it 6-2, but just what you said, Counselor, we traded the out for the run. Horton did the only thing he could do.
Yeah. He had to hurry that one, too, because that was up in the air for a long time.
That hop was 20 foot off the ground. Remember, we're playing on turf, so that ball got a good bounce. All right, this is Jaden Pope, 2-hole hitter. Got a man at third with one out. And a swing and a miss, strike one. That pitch was down in the dirt. Good job by Jaden Lane keeping it in front with a man at third base.
I know we got several guys on the team that can play catcher, but Lane is turned to be excellent.
And this is ripped into right field down the line. That's a fair ball, folks. That'll be 2 and score a run. Will they send him? No, they're going to hold him at second base. So a good piece of hitting by Jaden Pope kept that ball fair and turned it into an RBI double. So the score now 6-3.
Probably too early to bring in Wolf. I bet if this were the 6th, I bet we would.
Yeah, still in the 5th inning here. This is Cannon Hawthorne, the 3rd-hole hitter. Of course, all the damage being done by the top of the order.
But the lower guys got on.
The lower guys were able to get on.
Oh, that's a nice pitch.
So Hawthorne takes strike one. 1 out, man at second. And this popped up and fouled out of play into the stands. Nice play by Christy Horton.
Christy Horton on the out. That's impressive.
All right, so 0-2 now.
Oh, just outside.
Nice pitch, right where Lane called for it, but it was outside, and that's what they wanted. So a 1-2 count. Boy, he grooved that right where Lane wanted it.
Yeah. Like I said, we play on that outside corner. We're going to come back and paint it this time.
Yep, got him. And that's a twice the ice strikeout by Logan Horton.
He iced him.
Iced him.
Big moment for Horton. Needed to get that second out here, folks. After giving up a couple of runs, the Riders still maintain a 6-3 lead, but it's now with 2 outs.
Yeah, when we need ice, we go to twice the ice. Locations all over Shelby County, Shelbyville, and the 4-way and center. When center needs it, they go to Horton. Well done.
All right, Isaiah Drake, the center fielder, comes to the plate. He's got 2 outs and a man on second. And a breaking ball outside. And Horton going to step away and reset. Well, you can see the sun really bearing down out there now.
It's gotten better over here, but it's still third and left field. Oh, that's a nice pitch. There it was.
And a changeup in for a strike. Horton just snuck that one right in. Count now 1-1.
Yeah, the sun's the worst it's going to be for the next few minutes as it's setting.
Yeah, we're about maybe 5 minutes from getting it off the field, and it gets behind some of the stands. And that one's going to hit on a slow hop. Third base, Sutton Link, not in time. That slow hop eat him up. Drake was hustling down the line, and they've got runners at first and third. So 2 outs. Runners at first and third. It's going to bring Cade Campbell to the plate.
And Coach Ellis to the mound. What do you think? Is it time to move pitchers?
Well, this is one of those where you ask your pitcher how he feels. You know, Logan, how you feel? How's the arm? What do you got left? And you know, gauge kind of where you're at in the game. Yep. You got a 3-run lead. You got 2 outs though. Do you get one more out of him? And then save Easton to come in 6 and 7. With a lead, if you hold it, they don't bat in the 7th. So that means Easton's got to get 3 outs.
Yeah.
So that's the decision. That's kind of what they're talking about. And Ellis is asking, and he's going to stay with Horton.
Staying strong. And the Forge, Danbert Column on the square, brings us the Forge to let you get strong just like the Rough Riders do. Danbert, thank you for supporting Center Rough Rider Athletics. And so we're staying with Logan here in the contested 5th inning here.
I'm going to tell you, that builds a lot of confidence in your pitcher. He's given up a couple of hits here. He's given up a couple of runs. You come out, you talk. He says, Coach, I want to go. And Coach Ellis says, then go. They're going to step third to first. So 2 outs, men on the corners. They're going to stay with Horton. And that's going to be a shot into right, and there's the 3rd out we needed. Coach Ellis gambled with Horton, and it pays off big time. Good job, Logan Horton, getting that 3rd out. The Riders now lead 6-3 here in the top of the 6th.
Of course, this is brought to you by Sabine State Bank, which we will hear from next.
Man, we're on.
So what do you get with Sabine State Bank? Well, Steve Waters and his staff, they know you. They know you by name, and they celebrate the successes when they finance your dreams. But Sabine State Bank is also a fully modern bank with 24-hour online access to your accounts and services ranging from teller services to some of banking's more complicated things. Looking for a place to grow? It's Sabine State Bank.
Hope Community Medicine is a nonprofit faith initiative with a primary mission of providing quality health care to the people of East Texas, regardless of race, religion, socioeconomic status, or ability to pay. At Hope Community Medicine, they want to be the leading deep East Texas care provider recognized for their outstanding patient care, innovative technologies, programs, and medicines, as well as a highly motivated and distinguished staff. Hope Community Medicine, founded in faith, focused on family.
Everybody, welcome back. We heard from Porticool in our first ad, and there was the guy that runs Porticool. That's, I guess, president, CEO.
Good-looking Porticool hat on his head.
Yeah.
Staying cool.
That's right. He's also the dad of Bug Juice.
Bug Juice, who is, like you said, one of the definite candidates for the Center Motor Company
and
player
that
of
is
the game.
number 11, Easton Wolf. His grandfather, Ben's dad, came in during the football season and gave us that little nugget that his name is Bug Juice. He's actually Bug, but Fred calls him Bug Juice. And so if Fred calls him Bug Juice, we're going to call him Bug Juice.
We can too.
All right, here we go. Top of the sixth.
Cody Atkinson steps in to lead things off here in the top of the sixth. We have a new pitcher from Madisonville, number 4. And this is going to be hit a mile high into left field. Left fielder giving chase. It's going to hang up at the warning track, and he's able to make the play. Boy, Atkinson caught a ride there. Almost another, 4 feet, and that ball's over the fence. Just got a hair under it. All right, Gage Vadrine steps in. And he's going to foul the first pitch he sees.
We've seen the Rough Riders be down at this point in the game and able to come back and win. Let's see how they do when they're up in a close game.
And this one slapped toward the second baseman. Second base comes up throwing and makes the play. So 2 away here in the top of the sixth.
Don't you think this is a good chance to see how the program has grown under Coach Ellis if we're able to come out and finish a game?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the story on these Rough Riders for the last several years is they play tough, but then they'll give up a big blow-up inning. Have not seen that yet. They are tacking on runs here and there. They are playing tough. They give up a run here and there, but no big blow-off, you know, wheels come off, train wreck innings. And that's just maturity of the program. So Jaden Lane steps in. Ball in the dirt. Count now 1-1 with 2 outs to Lane.
It's a different looking ball club in it with a lot of the same folks.
A lot of them are a year older, but definitely see Coach Ellis's influence.
Yeah, this group, you know, we've called games since they were freshmen, and 4 or 5 of them started as freshmen.
Yeah,
so they've matured as players, but also as a team. And Lane puts this one into the net, foul.
Do we have the name of this pitcher?
I don't have him. He came off the bench, so he wasn't on the lineup card.
I wonder if he's young because he's got some good-looking stuff.
He's long and lanky, that's for sure. And Lane hits this one into center field. Will it get down? Yes, and it's going to go past the center fielder. Lane cranks for 2.
Is he going to try 3?
He's going for 3. Here he comes, folks. He's chugging. He's going to make it with a stand-up triple for Jaden Lane.
The big guy, Jaden Lane, with the triple.
Second
and I use
bomber.
the word chugging.
Yes.
Yeah. Second DQ bomber of the game. Second triple of the game.
It's the pink gloves. That's what it is.
Think
The pink glove, big smile on Jaden's face. He knows he earned that. Somebody get the oxygen.
Right.
Big man needs a break. All right, a 2-out triple by Jaden Lane. And Sudden Link is going to step in here. Got a man 90 feet away, and he takes ball 1.
It would be nice to get an insurance run. Insurance is good in that lot.
Absolutely. I speak fluent insurance. And that one out of the zone, 2-0 to Sutton Link.
And JBA Financial brings us the coach talk. We had such a hurried talk with the coach. We didn't give you credit for that. We appreciate that. All the words we hear from our coaches come from you guys at JBA.
And Link's going to rip this one foul. Boy, he stepped into that.
He did.
All right. So 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Man on third, 2-1 count to Link. And he does rip this in the hole. That's going to get through, and an RBI single for Sudden Link.
That's what I'm talking about. 2-out hits to score a run.
And that is you talked about team maturity. That is a sign of team maturity right there. We have had a bunch of 2-out hits today. Link adds a run. It is now 7-3
Rough
with
Rider,
the RBI.
number 6, scored the run.
Stockwell comes in, Link at first, and 2 outs. And that pitch outside. See if Trenton can keep things going here. And a swing and a miss, 1-1.
He was sitting on that pitch. He just missed it.
Trenton, and he swung at that pitch. He had put everything he had behind it, just not able to catch up to the fastball. All right, pitcher asked for a new ball. Here we go. And this hit hard into center field. Center fielder's going to camp out sky high, but makes the play. Not before the Riders add an insurance run. It is 7-3. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th.
You're watching NETSN and Pineywood sports coverage of Rough Rider baseball. Tonight, the Rough Riders take on the Madisonville Mustangs live from the Horseshoe in Center, Texas. Sandy Cox is a good State Farm agent. Just ask Drake. He knows. State Farm agents in general are pretty cool, but Sandy Cox has the answers to your questions. Like, what's best for me, for my kids, for my business, for my farm? For all of us in Shelby County, those questions can be answered at Sandy Cox State Farm.
Behold the chicken fried steak sandwich. This particular chicken fried steak sandwich can only be found at Diamond Bee Cafe in Center, Texas. And it pairs very well with seasoned fries and sweet tea. And if you're lucky, there'll be some of that Nana's banana pudding to go along with it. Get by Diamond Bee Cafe in Center and see the wonderful folks and all the wonderful menu items for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Do you own a plot of land? If you do, no matter what the size or the makeup of that plot, Bird Forestry needs to be on your side. They like to say, it's your forest. Let Bird Forestry help you manage it.
Everybody, welcome back. It's time the bottom of the 6th. Riders add an insurance run and go up 7-3. Here as Horton is still out there, fellas. Are we a little surprised at that?
You know, that for me, that's just baseball compliment from your coach. You battled through a tough 5th inning, gave up a couple of runs, came back, made the pitches you had to make. That's just Coach Ellis saying, hey, man, I trust you. You did a good job. Why don't you go get me 3 more?
I think that's right.
And that also helps that you're that your coach was a former pitcher.
He knows a thing or two.
He knows what it's like to be in a tough spot and pitch through it. So allowing Horton to come back out is just kind of a pat on the back. And a breaking ball for strike one.
But coach is expecting Madisonville to play tough.
I mean, they're a scrappy team. They play hard. They got guys that can pitch it, command a strike zone, 3 pitches. I mean, they're just like every other Palestine, very similar.
Scrappy team, we're seeing it.
Yep.
Kendall Campbell at the plate.
Oh, yeah.
And a beautiful pitch from Horton. Campbell holds up and checks, and the count now 1-2.
Horton shakes off his catcher, so it comes with a fastball.
Fastball, foul back. Well, he called the right pitch. Horton did his job. Campbell did his job. We'll set up and do it again. Breaking pitch. Way ahead in the count here. Horton can do whatever he likes. It's 2-2. Still got a pitch to give. Comes back with a low fastball and full count. Horton thought he had him.
Yep.
A little smile on his face there.
That's right. I think it was a bit low.
I'm betting he comes back change up here. And it was. And it was foul back. All right, so you've set up with the changeup. Do you come with the heat here, which is what he's going to look for, or do you throw another breaking ball? Full count.
He's going to come with the breaking ball. Nope, heater.
Nope, heater, and that's going to be hit to Bellin. Bellin scoops it up and makes the play. Good job by TJ making that look simple.
Yep.
This pitcher gives him a nod of the cap, and here we go.
Right.
Well, Bellin's just smooth out there when he's playing. I mean, he just makes it look so smooth. And it's a tough spot because of the early start. They've had the sun in their face the whole game.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
Nice pitch. Horton starts him off with a strike.
He's got that curveball working on the corner.
And comes back with it, stays up and out. Count now 1-1. And this one popped up and out of play. So way ahead, 1-2. That's something consistent about Horton. If you've watched this game, he has gotten ahead of almost every batter.
Yep.
And he's pitching from, you know, a position of attack instead of defense. And this one's popped out of play.
Reminds me of Covington pitch here. It was always 0-1. It was always 1-2.
And this is slapped into kind of right center. Who's going to make the play? Oh, and the two players just hesitate when they get there, and it falls in between them. I think Atkinson might have had the play, but you saw him pull up at the last second. Just a little bit of communication error out there in center field with his right fielder, and the ball drops in for a double. All right, 1 out. Man on second. And this is Clayton Nash, the 8-hole hitter. Now, if you remember, the 8 and 9-hole hitters both got on the last time they came up.
Got the 2-run fifth started, didn't they?
And Horton comes inside, misses with a fastball. And that's going to be a fastball outside, just poked foul. A little defensive hitting there.
Yeah.
Riders hanging on to a 4-run lead here in the top of the, or bottom of the 6th, rather.
That's right, though. Like, that was a completely defensive swing just to try to get the bat on it.
And that pitch back outside. Did not offer it this one. It's now 2-1. There's one out. Man on second. The Riders are up 7-3 here in the top of the sixth. And a good pitch by Horton. Check that. Bottom of the sixth, I'm sorry. So the count now 2-2. This one hit straight up and tailing back out of play.
That would have been 2 hits the traverse it took to that one. Glad you moved it.
I'm pretty glad myself.
And a floater catches him. They're going to go to first to make sure. Out is made. They do advance over to third. Good job by Jaden Lane to make sure. That ball came straight up off the plate. Lane throws him out at first, and there are 2 away with a man on third. You were talking about Lane earlier. He is athletic enough to play just about anywhere on the infield, but he has an absolute gun, and you want him back there playing catcher. And does a good job blocking. Kept that ball out front with a runner 90 feet away. Good job, Jaden Lane. A rare pitch in the dirt from Horton. Lane able to keep that in front. And this hit straight at the first baseman, and Stockwell comes up with a big play and the third out to end the 6th inning. Riders still up 7-3 here in Madisonville.
Granny B Snow Cone Center is your source for great summer treats. It begins with quality shaved ice. From there you get everything from the single colored snow cone to a really creative summer treat. And besides, the counselor likes it. They're also your home for Dippin' Dots. They've been supporting the Rough Riders for a mighty long time. So pull up to the window at Granny B's and let them serve you something special. So many things get started at Pizzeria. You start your party off with a pizza from the pizzeria. You get your celebration started. You get your season started. For a lot of us, our passion with pizza started at the Pizzeria, a tradition since 1960s. It's the Pizzeria just off the square in Center. So what do you get with Sabine State Bank? Steve Waters and his staff, they know you. They know you by name. And they celebrate the successes when they finance your dreams. But Sabine State Bank is also a fully modern bank with 24-hour online access to your accounts and services ranging from teller services to some of banking's more complicated things. Looking for a place to grow? It's Sabine State Bank.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Of course, this series brought to you by Sabine State Bank. We just heard from them. Let's see Steve Waters. We got Nutt up here.
Caden Nutt come in. He is the DH for the Riders in the 9-hole. Malachi Kovar, we found his name. That's number 4, pitching for the Mustangs. And he puts a fastball past Nutt.
Game 2 of this series will be in Center, assuming the field dries out, on Friday at 7 p.m.
And that one skips in, count 1-1. So Malachi either has his pants pulled real high and then rolled them back down, or he is so tall they ran out of pants because he is kind of got the high waters going. Yeah. And that one well out of the zone.
And that game, too, you talked about also be brought to you by Sabine State Bank. But it will be at 5 o'clock, Shire. So I learned that before the game.
Oh, it will be at 5 o'clock?
Scheduled for 5 o'clock, yeah.
Oh, and Nutt takes one off the elbow.
Oh.
That one hurts, folks. He's going to shake it off. Kovar just let that one go a little too inside. You don't want to hit the 9-hole batter.
No. That's a recipe for the score to be 8-3.
They're going to give Nutt a minute. Folks, that hurt. I mean, that caught him right on the back of the elbow.
Yeah, that funny bone, right? I mean, that didn't just hit the meat.
I think they're going to let the trainer look at him. I mean, they're putting in a pinch runner here. So Coach Ellis going to ease his way over to the third baseline.
There's no way to describe the sensation of getting your funny bone.
No.
If you've had it done, you know what it feels like.
When I was young, that was one of the big reasons I wasn't crazy about baseball. I seemed to get hit there a lot. it dampened my enthusiasm.
Well, the Riders back to the top of the order, so the hit batsman brings Easton Wolf to the plate. No outs here in the top of the 7th. Pinch runner on for Nutt.
After we get done here, tune in and see.
And he's going to foul that back into the fence.
Tune in and see Larry Pierce as he is covering Gary versus Joaquin. They've just got underway in Joaquin.
And as always, a very competitive, difficult district.
And Wolf's going to chop one towards second. They're going to toss and get one out. No chance to get Wolf. Way too fast. So they take the out up the middle. And that's going to bring Logan Horton back to the plate.
As Logan gets ready, remind you to check the bulletin board, the sign at Rough Rider Oil and Lube to see how the Rough Riders do, and go by and get your car taken care of. Keep that engine running with Rough Rider Oil and Lube. They bring you all our Rough Rider action.
Easton breaks for second on the first pitch. They're going to not throw. He was halfway there, so a wise choice by the catcher. Says he didn't get a good grip. That's fine. Easton steals another base, and the Riders have a runner in scoring position with one out in the top of the 7th. Horton moves up in the batter's box and takes a fastball outside. And Wolf steals third. Nobody in the park looked at him. The catcher caught the ball and kind of just stood up and flipped it back to the pitcher, and by the time they looked up, Easton Wolf standing at third.
Wow. He's crafty and understands the game. I bet you Coach Ellis likes working with him.
And this is going to be chopped toward short. The run will score easily. They'll throw out Horton at first base, but not before he gets another RBI to add to his running total here tonight.
I don't know, Shires. That's another hit, another run from Wolf. Wolf and Horton, they may have to be co-MVPs, right, assuming we hold on to win.
Horton knocked him in.
All right, the score now,
That's
8-3 Rough Riders.
That's true.
TJ Bellin steps in, 2 outs, nobody on, and he takes a hack. Bellin said, that's fine. I'm going to look for one of those trees out there.
I want to get in contention for the Center Rookie Player of the game. I think it has a co.
Yeah, it's hard to decide which one of them contributed more.
And check swing. They are going to appeal.
Yep. We got that other one back.
Yep.
So it's just the account has been squared.
So the count now 1-1 to Bellin with 2 outs.
I was talking about the big account with the. Oh, well, he took a mighty. Casey took a mighty swing at that one.
I tell you what, there is one thing about TJ. He is swinging for the fence every time. This is probably his last at bat of the evening, and he knows it. And to get his money's worth, he hits this one off the hands into center field. They finally jammed him, able to get just enough bat to get a little air under it. But that's okay. The Riders 8-3, and we are headed to the bottom of the 7th here in Madison.
You're watching NETSN and Pineywood Sports coverage of Rough Rider baseball. Tonight, the Rough Riders take on the Madisonville Mustangs live from the Horseshoe in Center, Texas. Pineywood Sports and NETSN says thank you to these fine sponsors of Rough Rider baseball and softball. Bird Forestry, helping industry protect nature. Granny B Snow Cones, the sign that summer is here. The Pizzeria, the taste of a generation. And TNR Steaks and More, all you can eat, all the time. And Ray Jones Chevrolet, let Marlon Ray, Mr. Chevrolet, show you what's on the lot. These sponsors say, go Riders. The following sponsors back all of our area teams all spring long. They include Batters Law Firm. When your case matters, it's got to be Batters. Hope Medical, providing quality medical care, also provides hope. Portacool, maker of the Apex Series fans for peak cooling. Sandy Cox Insurance, your State Farm good neighbor, supports the riders and lady riders. Diamond Bees, for cooking just like home. And Blake Furniture on Selma Street, the best furniture at the best prices. And Farmer State Bank, an institution for over a century.
All right. Welcome back, folks. We see the toughest guy on the field.
Yeah, I had to say honorable mention for Center Motor Company player of the game is that guy who has taken a beating. He's called a good game. We've had very little beef with the umpire, and I mean the ball finds him about as often as it finds a bat.
And it's those fun spots.
Yeah. That's right.
Elbow, collarbone, inside of the ankle.
And the trainer does not come to look at him. No. But meanwhile, on the mound, for the first time tonight, we have our closer, I guess. It's Easton Wolf in relief after about 90-something pitches from Horton, who threw 6 very good innings.
Going to start off here the bottom of the 7th with the top of the order. Ty Dean comes back up for the Mustangs. And he takes a heater from Wolf just out of the strike zone. And the breaking ball in for strike 1, so count now 1-1. Another breaking ball, strike
Nice.
2. Well, that was a carbon copy of the first one.
Oh, and I like this guy's strike call on left-handers.
Count now 1-2. Wolf blows it by him, and that is a twice the ice strikeout.
Iced him.
Ooh, Easton put a little something on that one.
That's going to melt that ice. That's what that's going to do.
Yeah, Will Blackshear and Easton Wolf combined for a heck of an icer right there.
That would be some steam is what that'd be.
Third Rough Rider strikeout of the night. First one from Wolf. Thank you twice the ice at Shelbyville and in Center.
Jordan Pope has caught a good game here tonight. He's going to come up. And another heater from Wolf for strike 1. He shakes off 2 pitches and throws the breaking ball in the dirt, so the count 1-1. Ooh, and there, golly, that curveball ought to come with a warning sign.
That's right.
It is tough.
God almost wanted to hit the twice the ice strikeout on that one.
Strike
Whoa.
2 on that devastating breaking ball. Wolf shakes him off. Here we go. Throws it again. Oh, just out of the zone. I tell you, nothing feels better when you're a pitcher when your curveball is on.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes every other pitch great, and it just makes you feel good. Comes back fastball, set him up perfect. Gets away from Lane. He throws down to first. That's 2 outs. Lane and Wolf share a laugh there. He smoked that heater in there, and it just trickled away from Lane.
That's right. Lane been calling for it. He finally got it. He couldn't handle it.
All right.
So 2 outs, 2 strikeouts for Wolf here.
Mustangs down to their last out. Rough Riders with an 8-3 lead here in the bottom of the 7th with 2 away. And smoked a fastball by him. Breaking ball outside, misses. All right, so Easton with a fresh baseball. Counts 1-1 with 2 away. And a foul ball, 1-2.
You know you're going to see the hook here, right? Don't we know?
Oh, I think we're going to see nothing but hooks. All right, 1-2 count, 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th.
Nope.
Throws a fastball. Shocked us both.
Yeah.
The batter able to just foul that off.
He's setting him up, Locke.
If anybody's got anything they want to hang, here comes a hook.
Yep.
Boom, baby, boom. Twice the ice. Sets him down on the big curveball. Easton Wolf closes it out.
How about twice the ice, icing not just the batter but the game. Congratulations, Will Blasher, and congratulations, Easton Wolf and the Rough Rider baseball team on a very convincing, what was that, 8-3 victory?
8-3 victory.
Good stuff. Well, that's the end of the broadcast, y'all, but it's not the end. I'm sorry, the game, not the end of the broadcast. We have the Aurora Concepts postgame show. They have a vaccination station. We passed it as we were coming into Madisonville, Crockett Center, and Huntsville. We'll hear from them as we go to the postgame show after this.
You're watching NETSN and Pineywood Sports coverage of Rough Rider baseball. Tonight, the Rough Riders take on the Madisonville Mustangs live from the Horseshoe in Center, Texas.
All right, everybody, welcome back to our post-game show here live, NETSN. We're getting Chris Walker on the phone right now.
Hello. Oh, I am. I haven't gotten anybody yet. I was just calling to make sure we were connected.
We are connected. And so...
Hoping to visit with Logan and Easton.
Well, while you're doing that, Chris Walker, we're going to do something to smile about, brought to you by Wyndham Family.
Do that.
So, what do you want to smile about, Jason Locke?
I tell you what, just an all-around solid game. The Rough Riders didn't have one giant inning. They didn't give up a giant inning. Just good, solid baseball. Ends up 8-3, but they tacked it on a run here, a run there.
Yeah.
I just the fundamentals. Horton not only pitched 6 solid innings, but did it with his bat. 2-run shot to kind of lead things off. It just took the wind out of the sails of the Mustangs, and they were never able to get back in it.
I agree with you. I think it was the mechanical way, just the machine, the way we did it was great. So we're going to get on Chris Wallington here and see what we got going on over here. Chris, take it away.
I got one of our players of the game, the pitcher tonight, also a powerhouse on offense. So come on over here, Logan. You are our Center Motor Company player of the game. Let's talk about the hit, first of all. The third pitch of the game, When you hit it, did you know it was gone?
No, I thought it was a routine pop-up, and I guess it was carried.
Really?
Yep.
So when did you figure it out? Was it over the fence and you went, oh, I'll be there?
I heard Coach A said it's gone. I kind of looked up, realized it was gone.
Well, that's a shame.
Hey,
You got to know that. You got to know.
Chris, how about, why don't y'all turn this way so everybody can see pretty face?
Yeah,
There we go.
We had you in the shade, man, so now we're better. Let's go over to the pitching side of it. It was a good outing. How did you feel about that? Did you feel like you had your best stuff?
I felt like my curveball settled in there towards the end. My fastball, I wasn't locating it very well, and they was hitting the ball. Defense just made good plays behind me. That's why runs were so low.
In the 6th inning, they're starting to hit, and Coach comes to talk to the whole team. You decided to stay. Was that your decision, a group decision? How did that work? It worked out great. Tired the side.
It was my decision. I knew I wanted to get out that inning, and I did.
And he had the confidence to let you do it.
Yep.
That is awesome. Congratulations, man. Tell Easton congratulations, too.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, well, that's the Center Motor Company player of the game. Maybe we can hear from them, and I can try to get a hold of Coach in the meantime.
We can do that. So we also need to hear from Wyndham Family Dental. We'll hear from both of those when we come back. It'll be more post-game show live here.
Excuse me there, son. I am new to town, and I only have one tooth in my head. Where do I go to get it repaired? Oh, you're looking for Wyndham Family Dentistry. Clayton Paul, Anna Joy, Danny Paul, any of the Wyndhams will fix you up. Oh, thank you kindly.
Center Motor Company. From whatever angle you look at it, you see Ford. Ford trucks, SUVs like the Bronco, and iconic cars like the Mustang. A legacy managed by Kevin Jones and created by Ray Jones. Center Motor Company on Hurst Street in Center.
All right, Coach Ellis, good game. You're just kind of what you had in mind. Proud of them?
Yeah, I mean, they compete. I mean, that team, they didn't quit. They didn't lay down. They put pressure on us. Logan was kind of, for me, like the spark that we needed, pitching, and he was kept his composure. He had some tough breaks. But, for him to start off the game, his first at bat with a home run to give himself a lead, obviously us as well. But that kind of got him going, and he didn't get rattled. He just stayed within himself. He did a great job running the bases. I mean, he just collectively, Logan, had a really good day and kind of like sparked us.
You spent half the game on the third baseline. Tell me about the sun and its role in today's game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we had discussions before the game that the sun could play a factor in a fly ball. So anything hit in the air to the left side of the field, we need to make sure we're not slowing down at first base. We need to be on second base, even potentially third, depending on the depth. But, it really there wasn't any plays where it did play a factor, but I've been here in the past and where it has.
Based on where we stood as the game began today, talk a little bit about the Rough Riders and the district race at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds the old cliche. I really don't. We play each game, and I mean, we break it down pitch to pitch, hitter to hitter. I mean, I really don't even present that to my kids ever. We don't even have discussions about it. Now, if they look at it on their own, I have no idea. But
it's on the internet.
Yeah, but as far as like what we do with practice and, bunt defenses, obviously I give them awareness. We had 2 picks today at first base based on our work of, I know that they like to use a hop lead at first base, so we have a timing pick for that. Pretty simple. Obviously, I'm not going to say it on the air in case somebody watches this, but I mean, obviously, that's as a pitcher in my career, I had to be able to control the running game, and so keep runners at bay, close to, runners get a bigger lead, they can score runs easier, get to the next base easier. So I want to keep pressure off the middle of the field and my outfielders. So we kind of applied that, and I mean, he's pretty advanced with the base running. As you could see, and I thought we did a great job controlling it.
Did. That's very few innings that you get 2 outs, picking people off at first.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that all my clubs have taken pride in. And these kids, since day one have bought into it, and they have fun with it, and that's what makes it important. And the quality of catch, that you take that and apply it to their warm-up, and they're warming up before we even play or practice. Our catch play has value to it at that point, because we got to be able to play catch to do that.
Well, Coach, thanks. We'll always learn stuff with you after the game. Congratulations. All right, back to you guys.
All right, that's our Coach Talk brought to you by JBA Financial. We'll hear from them. We'll wrap up the show. This is Rough Rider Baseball and the Aurora Concepts postgame show live here on NETSN.
JBA Financial Services brings you Coach Talk, and there's a reason for that. John Black knows that when you're preparing for an important game, you need a plan, and they'd like to be a part of the details, the X's and O's of that plan. He's put together a good team, a coaching staff that would help you and your family get where they want to go. At JBA Financial Services, they're working to secure your family's future.
Everybody, welcome back. We have a bonus. Wyndham Family Dental is something to smile about. As Ben Wolf was exiting, he told us that before the game on Friday night, James Headley will be cooking out for everybody for a pregame meeting. So
that's right. And remember, because of the weather, the schedule has changed. So first pitch is 5 o'clock. So be there early. Just go ahead and take off about 3:30 or so.
Yep.
Change clothes, come out to the ballpark. James Headley will feed you around 4:30,
right,
and you'll be just in time for first pitch at 5.
That's right. He'll probably grab you some on the way in. It's good. Whatever it is, I can personally attest. Whatever James Headley cooks, it will be good.
That's right. That's right. Look forward to Friday against these same Mustangs, 5 p.m. first pitch.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in this evening. Rough Riders come away with an 8-3, an impressive victory. Like we said, it was very workmanlike. Very like a machine, which is what you want to see. Rough Riders win 8-3, and Friday night we'll have Chris Watlington singing Purple Rain.
The proceeding was a presentation of Watlington, Shires, and Pierce Productions. We hope you have an awesome and blessed night. God bless America, God bless our troops, and God bless each and every one of you.